What's up, guys? Wintertime is over. It's starting to heat up, and so is the fishing. And what happens inevitably is these big fish move up shallow from the deep water wintertime areas up into that shallow water cover. Any kind of structure they can find that's up shallow, they're gonna hoard all around because they feel safe and comfortable. So today we're gonna use V&M's brand new little flipping bait, the Flat Wild, to really target these shallow water fish. And I'm gonna show you how to maximize your time when flipping this structure to look for those big old mamas that we all want to catch. Let's break down this spring technique, starting with rigging. All right, guys, real quick, let's talk about the bait. You see how thin this is? This was done so you're not having as much plastic wadded around that hook, so you can really get a good hook penetration on that fish. Next is these little claws on either side. These things are balanced so that they actually kick. As that bait falls, you'll see these little legs kicking, and anytime you're working that bait, those things are gonna be kicking, giving a little bit more enticing action to the fish. Last year, we got these different little ribs, we've got the legs. That's all for water displacement. We're working that bait that's moving that much more water in the water that these bass can hone in on. Let's talk about the setup. I have a 1/2 ounce to 1 ounce tungsten bullet weight. And then below that, I use a 2/0 to 3/0 straight shanked flipping hook, rig that Texas rig, and then I peg that. Now, the reason you want to peg that weight is because if the weight just freely swings, that's going to go down in the cover. You want this thing pegged, and you want the bait and the weight to fall through together so you can get in that nasty stuff. All right, now let's talk about flipping this thing. We are close quarter combat. We're not making long casts, we're making little flips, but we want to stay stealthy with it, okay? So we hold this bait in our hand and we let this bait pendulum out, and then as it gets closer, we slow it down, and we want this bait to just barely fall in that water. And once it hits the water, I want to engage my reel and I want to let that bait sink all the way down. So let me show you here. We pendulum out. Now that bait's on top of the water right now. I've got the gears engaged now, so I'm not letting any more line out. But now as I shake this bait through, I'm going to slowly drop my rod tip. Then I'm going to hop it once or twice. Let it sit for a second, and then I go to my next target. Now I've found that when these fish are shallow like this, they're aggressive. They're up there for a reason. Either they're feeding, they're guarding their nests, but you don't need to work that bait very much. So you want to get it real quiet in there, shake it through once or twice, let it sit, and then go to the next one. Because you got so many targets, you want to be able to fish efficiently as well. You don't want to spend too much time because you want to find out where these active fish can be. This could be one of those techniques that you don't catch a lot of fish, but what happens is the fish that you do catch are quality fish. And so you've got to make sure that you're able to cover enough water to actually find these bigger fish. It's only about a foot of water underneath there, and I saw the whole thing move. And I hopped the bait, and there was no fish on it. Then when it landed again, I felt tap, and just set into that. And you guys, that is a pig right there. And these fish are not bedding yet. It's still a little early, it's still cold water. But because we've got sun, it's heating up, these fish, they go shallow. That's what they want to do, is they move up shallow and start, look, this fish is kind of beat up. It's been rubbing up shallow in there, but these fish are not bedding yet. All right, guys, here's a quick tip for you shore anglers. I know you're always trying to be resourceful or efficient with the tackle you bring, because you can only carry so many rods. And sometimes you don't want to have 20-pound fluorocarbon or 40, 60-pound braid tied up on your rod. So what you can do is actually just take 20 to 30 feet of line and just wrap that up, put it in your pocket. And if you come to a pond when you're walking along and you see that you want to be able to flip, but you don't think you have heavy enough line, just add that 20 to 30 feet to the top of your line. So just tie a uni knot, spool that up, and now you've got enough to really flip efficiently in that little structure you found. And if you don't have any success, just take it back off, put it back in your pocket, and you're good to go. There's no such thing as bad cover. If it's something the fish can hide under when they're up shallow, the fish are going to use it. So it could be trash, it could be some brush piles, it can be toolies. And look, you've got these laid down toolies, these dead toolies that have been pushed back by the wind. This is perfect. This acts as a huge canopy for them. And these fish can slowly cruise through here, whether they're up, sometimes they're gonna be up here feeding, sometimes they're up here just checking out the spawning areas and trying to find that area that they're actually gonna put their nest. But whatever it is, they can be aggressively feeding or just guarding, being very territorial. And so as you just make your way through here, you're eventually gonna run into some fish and hopefully get a big one out of it. A lot of times if you're on top of the cover like that, these fish can feel that up there. And they'll follow it until it finally goes through, and then they just slam it the second it finally does go through. But what happens is, look, we got this canopy stuff, we've got real shallow water. This water is gonna warm up. Even though the main lake, you know, it's about 56 degrees right now, up shallow here, we could have, you know, much warmer, 60, you know, low 60s up here, because you've got this nice stagnant water, you've got this, this lay down cover that's absorbing up the sun and everything. And these fish, they're looking to feel comfortable. They want something they feel comfortable on, and that's what this structure does. It's something for them to hide in and everything. All right, guys, when we're talking about location, it really varies throughout the country, whatever your body of water really has a lot of, whether it's tules, whether it's brush piles hanging over, whether it's just trash piles that have blown into a corner of a lake. Anytime a fish can feel safe, anytime there's some kind of cover that a fish can come under there and feel safe up shallow, they're gonna take advantage of that. And so that's what you wanna look for. Right now behind me, we've got these lay down tules that really are providing a canopy. And then also we've got brush piles, isolated brush piles along the bank. Anything these fish will move up to feel comfortable, they are gonna use. And that's why you've got to really stealthily move through there. But once you do, once you figure out what these fish are on, chances are there's gonna be multiple fish doing this throughout the lake. Some other things to key on, especially early on, right out of that, you know, right in that first warm stretch coming out of the winter and stuff, you really want to focus on banks that are in the sun the longest, okay? So that sun comes up, you want those banks that sun hits first and it's really heating up throughout the day. If you can find cover on those banks, chances are that those are going to be your more productive areas all the way through the beginning of that spring time. Okay, when it comes to equipment, I don't put much emphasis on the reel. You just need a bait caster that's going to be able to hold your 20-pound or 40 to 60-pound braid. And then you need to use a heavy rod, okay? I like a nice, heavy, fast action rod so I can have a little bit of tip to really feel those bites, be able to control that bait. But you want enough backbone that you can really be able to handle these heavier weights you're using and then be able to horse those fish out of that heavy cover. All right, you guys, I don't know if you can see this behind me, but look at it, all this, you got just this nice corner that's got nice deep channel that tucks right in there. Wow. Oh, yes. This is, come on, baby. Come on. I gotta show this for the ending, baby. Yeah. Holy cow. That fish, look at the belly on that. Whew, baby. Oh, guys, we came back into this little corner. I tossed in there and there's actually a big commotion. I thought I spooked a big carp or something, but I went to lift up. You'll see that as I lift up, I wasn't sure that I had a fish. I thought I was caught on a tule and whoo, whoo. And that was a big old baby. Guys, that's how you end a video. This is the V&M Flat Wild flipping bait. And if you look, this is what I was talking about. Look, that you don't have too much plastic. There was enough hook to get through there and get a nice, I mean, that's as good of a hook set. You can't ask for a better hook set than that. You guys, you got to be flipping shallow water. When those water temps are heating up, coming out of the winter, those big girls, they go shallow just like the ladies flock to the beaches and want to get those tans. And you've got to be in there with that right bait. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, throw us that thumbs up and make sure you comment. If you have any questions or you got some comments that you want to see some different techniques, let us know in the comment section below and make sure you subscribe so you can get updates on all the videos. That's a beaut. That is a big old pre-spawn Betty. Dude, that's how I end the video. I'm so pumped that that's how we're gonna end this video because I love motivating people. It's, you know, when you see somebody else go out there and have success with a lure, that gives you that much more confidence to go do it yourself. And that was exactly how it is supposed to go down. I'm thinking this is gonna be a good video. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure you hit that thumbs up right now. If you like seeing Liquid Living, I want a thumbs up and I want a comment below what you like about the Liquid Living series. Peace. Maybe peace.